Akatsuki is the hero of our story today, and he is currently running away from some girls dressed as maids. Yes, a strange start, but what exactly is happening? We learn that Akatsuki defeated the Demon Lord and kidnapped his daughter. He currently wants to return to his own world because the world he is in now is one he traveled to some time ago, becoming the strongest hero there. He had to defeat the Demon Lord to be able to return to his world. The girls chasing our hero are the royal palace servants, and they don't want our hero to leave them. However, Akatsuki defeats them all and manages to reach the gate that will take him back to his world. But before he leaves, a beautiful girl with blonde hair tries to stop him. We learn that this girl is the princess of the kingdom where our hero lived, and her name is Lesty. Akatsuki ignores her and says, "Look, Lesty, I appreciate the days I spent with you, but honestly, I'm bored with you all and fed up with this life. But that doesn't mean that if you need any help, you can call me, and I won't answer because I'll be busy. Goodbye." Akatsuki returns to his world, specifically to the house he lived in, and we learn that he lives alone. He takes out the Demon Lord's daughter and says to her, "Hello, beautiful. Now, first, we must introduce ourselves. My name is Akatsuki, and what is your name?" She looks at him and says, "My name is Mio. I want to inform you of something important." Mio knows she was kidnapped, but she will cope with it because her father, before our hero killed him, told her a few important things that we will learn about shortly. Akatsuki takes Mio, and they both ride in a car, heading to the Academy of Superhuman Powers, which is called Babel Academy. Akatsuki speaks to Mio, saying, "Look, Mio, from today on, you will be my little sister who was lost for a while, but we found each other again. That's what we have to tell everyone at the Academy, because, of course, no one should know you are the Demon Lord's daughter." She says, "Okay, fine." At that moment, they arrive at Babel Academy. Babel Academy is a school for people with superpowers, especially those who traveled to the other world and returned safely, just like our hero. The Academy conducts check UPS and examinations on Mio and Akatsuki, and they find that they have no diseases or anything suspicious. The Academy employee tells them, "Now you must pass the Academy's entrance exam to officially register with us." Mio enters a fight to determine her strength and passes the test easily, even defeating the instructor with a single blow. Then it is our hero's turn, but he is waiting for the person who will fight him. Suddenly, a person with white hair and blue eyes enters and says to our hero, "Hey buddy, I'll be your opponent today, and I'll determine whether you'll be accepted into our academy or not. I'm Hikami, the student council president. Let's stop the talk." He suddenly attacks Mio. Akatsuki saves her and says, "What are you doing?" Hikami says, "Sorry, friend. Or rather, I have a better challenge. If you can destroy the ice I just created with my attack in one blow, I will accept you into our academy." Akatsuki says, "That's it," and strikes the ice with all his might, but the ice does not break. Our hero thinks he has failed, but Hikami says, "Good job, beast. I'll consider you victorious because no one has ever been able to break this ice before." This means that Akatsuki and Mio successfully passed the entrance exam and officially became students at the academy. Akatsuki takes Mio and they leave the place, but we notice that Hikami is keeping an eye on our hero and seems to be planning something bad. Akatsuki and Mio go home and prepare a big feast to celebrate their achievement today. While eating, our hero begins to remember when he fought the Demon Lord. At that time, before he died, the Demon Lord looked at our hero and told him to take his daughter and protect her because if she were left alone, she would cause the destruction of the world. Akatsuki agreed to the Demon Lord's request and decided to take Mio. We return to the present, and we find that our hero's relationship with Mio has begun to improve, but he is still afraid of the future. Night comes, and Akatsuki is sleeping, exhausted and like a dead fish. Mio approaches him, wanting to kill him while he sleeps. We learn something important. Her father, the Demon Lord, told her that if the person who kidnaps her is not good to her, she can kill him. But if he is good, she should continue her life with him. We see Mio hesitating, unsure whether to kill him or not, until she decides not to kill him yet, giving him a chance to see what he will do with her in the future. The next day, Akatsuki takes Mio and goes to the academy for their first official day there. As soon as they arrive, they notice that the students are staring at them with surprise. Mio asks our hero, "What's going on?" Akatsuki tells her, "This is normal anywhere in the world when there are transfer students or new faces in the school, all eyes are on them." They enter the classroom, and everyone sits at a desk. Suddenly, a girl with brown hair comes in and says to them, "Hey guys, the whole academy is talking about you because of your strength and what you did yesterday with the student council president." Akatsuki says, "Well, introduce yourself first. Who are you?" She says, "My name is Izumi, and I'll be your classmate from today." But at this moment, we see a red-haired boy entering towards our hero, looking angry, and saying, "Why are you sitting in my place? Get up now, or I'll break your..." Akatsuki grabs the boy's face and delivers a strong punch that sends him flying. We learn that the red-haired boy is named Onishuk, and he is the school bully who preys on the weak. Akatsuki grabs him by the face and says, "Great. I heard you're causing trouble here at school and bothering the weak. Well, I want to tell you something, I also like to bother the weak." While our hero is hitting Onishuk, students from the student council enter. They take Akatsuki and put him in the student council office, telling him, "Wait here a bit, we're going to call the person who will punish troublemakers in the school." They leave him in the office and walk away. Akatsuki looks at the desk where the student council president sits and says, "What would happen if I sat in this place?" 3 senior members of the student council arrive at the place and are shocked when they find our hero sitting in Hikami's chair. But at that moment, Hikami enters. As soon as our hero sees him, he decides to attack him, but the 3 student council members block his blows and prevent him from engaging with Hikami. Akatsuki looks at Hikami and says, "What's wrong? I thought you brought me here to fight each other." Hikami says, No, I didn't even know you were here." Then, a girl from the student council with green hair looks at our hero and says, "I brought you here to thank you for hitting Onishuk, but at the same time, I will give you a warning, if you cause any trouble in the future, we will punish you with the harshest penalties." We learn that the green-haired girl is named Nancy. Akatsuki leaves the office and decides to stop and think about what happened. Suddenly, a short girl approaches him and says, "I advise you not to annoy the student council." Akatsuki says, "It's fine, I like to do whatever I feel like. Besides, who are you? Did you get lost from your parents?" She looks at him and says, "No, I am the person in charge of your class, and my name is Damado. I came to take you to the classroom now." Akatsuki says, "Okay, fine." But as they are walking, we suddenly see the girl Nancy approaching them. She is angry, her face is red and about to explode, and she says to our hero, "How dare you do such a thing?" Akatsuki says, "You're angry because I stole the..." Yes, guys, it turns out that Akatsuki stole her underwear. Nancy is furious and decides to punish our hero. She immediately summons her special weapon. As soon as our hero sees the weapon she has, he starts laughing and says, "Are you kidding me? What is that you're holding?" Nancy immediately attacks him with all her might, but our hero steals something else from her. Nancy gets angrier and runs away from the place, saying, "I won't forget what you did, and I'll make the student council punish you with the harshest penalties." The girl Domo looks at our hero and says, "You've added fuel to the fire, and you'll have to endure what happens to you in the future." Look, guys, I'm going to change the name Damado to Domo because her name is long, and I keep getting confused, and I don't need the hassle. Domo, Mio, and Izumi introduce themselves to each other and become friends, spending the whole day laughing and joking together. Days pass, and we find Mio keeping her distance from our hero because he made a few perverted moves with her, which she is not happy about, and she starts treating him coldly. We go to Onishuk, who is bullying a weak person and wants to take his place in the food line. And that is exactly what he does. Focus on this guy because he will have an important role in the future. At that moment, Akatsuki arrives at the academy restaurant and does the same thing Onishuk did, taking his place in the food line, but he calls the guy whose turn it was and puts him back in his place. At this moment, we notice that as time passes, Onishuk's resentment and jealousy towards Akatsuki increase. We will leave him now and go to the girl Domo, whom Nancy is scolding, saying, "What is happening is unacceptable, all this trouble coming from your class, specifically from the person named Akatsuki. Please be stricter with them." Domo is upset and sad, but then our hero enters. When he sees she is sad, he says, "Hey, what do you say to going out with me today so we can relax a bit?" And that is what happens. It is a nice outing. Our hero manages to release the negative energy from Domo. We notice that the friendship between the 3 girls, Mio, Domo, and Izumi, develops, and their relationship becomes stronger as time passes. At this moment, we find the student council holding an important meeting, discussing the boy Akatsuki. The girl Nancy says, "We must punish him for the chaos he is causing." A boy looks at her and says, "Don't escalate the matter just because he took your underwear." The girl Nancy's face turns red, and she gets angry, but at this moment, Hikami enters and says, "Tell you what, leave Akatsuki to me, and don't worry about him. I'll deal with him." Does anyone object? Nancy is scared and terrified and says, "No, no one objects." After a period of time, we find that the academy is holding a test for the students. They have to summon their weapons using the bracelets they wear on their arms, and they will also face a giant monster together. Everyone successfully summons their special weapon, except for our hero, who cannot do so and is very surprised because he is supposed to be a strong person who can summon a weapon easily. Anyway, the supervisor tells them, "Now form teams to face this giant monster together, and let's see which team can defeat it." The students do this. The girl Mio forms a team with Domo and Izumi, and they refuse to include Akatsuki because he is a pervert. Akatsuki searches for someone to team up with until he finds Onishuk in front of him. He says, "Hey buddy, I can't find anyone to team up with. How about we form a team together?" Onishuk gets angry and says, "I will fight you now, and if you manage to defeat me, we will form a team together." Akatsuki says, "Okay, fine," and he pulls out a normal sword to fight him. As expected, Akatsuki successfully defeats Onishuk with one hit, and Onishuk passes out. Akatsuki says, "Since you passed out now, I'll take your bracelet." As soon as Akatsuki puts it on, he notices that he is starting to be able to summon his weapon, but it disappears quickly. An idea comes to our hero, to collect a few of them and wear them to see if he can summon a weapon or not. At this moment, we find that the monster the students are supposed to fight has been summoned, but something strange is happening. The monster is very strong, contrary to the usual. It turns out that someone tampered with the monster's settings and made it unnaturally strong, to the point that the monster manages to defeat all the students and turns them into stone. It reaches Mio's team, and it manages to turn the girls Domo and Izumi into stone. Mio is scared and is about to turn into stone as well, but our hero, at the last moment, manages to block the monster's blow and saves her. We find that Akatsuki has collected a large number of bracelets and is wearing them on his arm now. Our hero successfully summons his weapon, which is a giant black sword, and frankly, it looks incredibly cool. Akatsuki enters a fight with this big chicken, and after a blow here and a blow there, a kick right and a kick left, he manages to defeat this monster. As soon as he defeats it, we find that all the students who were turned into stone return to normal, and everyone is happy because our hero saved them. Akatsuki thanks Mio and says, "Good job, Mio, for being able to block the monster until I arrived." We leave them now and go to the student council, where we find chaos because they want to know who is the person who tampered with the monster's settings. Until the student council president actually finds out who did it. It turns out, guys, that it is the boy whom Onishuk was bullying in the school restaurant before, and whom Akatsuki defended. We go to this boy, who wants to escape after messing things up, but Akatsuki knows that he is the person who did all this and says to him, "Where are you going, beast? Come here." We learn that the boy's name is Tank. Akatsuki says to him, "I know everything, but I'm surprised why you're doing this, and why you pretend to be weak when you are actually a strong person." Tank says, "Look, my friend, I am basically a spy, and I came here to destroy Babel Academy, and you are not the one who will stop me from carrying out my plan." Akatsuki says, "Oh, is that what you think?" and immediately starts attacking Tank. But frankly, Tank kicks his butt and plays ball with him until the fight is about to spiral out of control, and Tank is about to cast a spell that will destroy the entire academy. But at that moment, Hikami enters and says, "What brought you here?" Hikami says, "The same reason that brought you here, but I honestly wanted to continue watching you, but when I found that Tank was going to destroy the academy, I decided to intervene." Akatsuki says, "Okay, fine. I wanted to fight you now, but I'm busy. I want to check on Mio." Akatsuki actually leaves and goes to the girl Mio. We find her and her friends treating the injured students, but the girl Mio faints from exhaustion. Akatsuki immediately takes her to the infirmary to be treated there. At this moment, Mio begins to remember her father's words when he told her, "If this person is good, then continue your life with him." Mio is hesitant and actually starts thinking about not killing Akatsuki because he is a good person and doesn't seem to have any evil intentions. Akatsuki notices that Mio is thinking and not paying him any attention, so he says to her, I know you're thinking now how the person who killed your father treats me with such love, and I also know that you still haven't moved on from your father's death. You can take out all your negative feelings on me, because after all, I am the person who killed your father. Mio starts crying and hugs our hero. Days pass, and we notice that Akatsuki's relationship with Mio has started to improve more and more. We find the girl Mio sitting with Domo and Izumi, and they start talking to each other until they decide to take Akatsuki out at the end of the week to have some fun together. We leave them now and go to Akatsuki, who is standing on the roof smelling some fresh air. Suddenly, a person with blonde hair enters. As soon as he sees our hero, he says, I feel like I've seen you before. Who are you? Akatsuki says, I don't know. He says, yes, I remember. You are Akatsuki, whom everyone talks about, saying you are the strongest person in the world. How are you, big guy? Come shake my hand. But he literally doesn't shake our hero's hand, he punches him. Akatsuki says, if this is a greeting to you, then you've come to my field. It looks like they are both going to get into a fight. And that is what happens. They both get into a fight, which is a bit light. After a few blows here and there, Akatsuki manages to throw him to the ground. Before he delivers the final blow, the person says, calm down, bro. I really meant to greet you from the start. Akatsuki says, who are you anyway? He says, my name is Haru, and I honestly admire you and your reputation that spread like wildfire. So, my friend, how about I take you on a trip to meet someone you'll enjoy seeing? Akatsuki says, okay, fine, no problem. The day passes normally until Akatsuki is walking with the girl Mio, and they learn that they will go out together to have some fun and buy some things from there. And that is what happens at the end of the week. We find Mio, Domo, Izumi, and Akatsuki all together at the mall, buying some clothes from there, and a few situations happen between them that I frankly don't want to show or talk about. After they spend a nice time together, they go out to dinner together and talk and joke until the day ends, and everyone goes home. The girl Mio is very happy, but she is tired from walking, so she is sleeping on our hero's shoulder on the way home, in a nice scene that we will rarely see in the future. Let's focus on the present now. After a few days pass, we find our hero walking with Mio and her friends until suddenly, the idiot Haru is standing on a tree, calling out to our hero and saying, what's up, my friend? Aren't we going on the trip I told you about? Akatsuki looks at him and says, who are you anyway? Haru is shocked and says, dude, I'm Haru, whom you met on the roof, and we agreed to go on a trip together. Akatsuki says, yes, I remember you. Haru says, great. If you are free now, come with me. Akatsuki actually goes with him, and we find he takes him to a car workshop. He tells him, there is a person here in this place I want you to meet. They introduce him to the owner of the workshop and his daughter. We are surprised when we find that this person knows our hero, but our hero doesn't know him. Haru brought our hero to this place because he wants him to try riding a motorcycle that no one can ride. Akatsuki is surprised, but he says, that's it, and actually goes to try to touch the motorcycle, but the machine literally hits him with an electric shock that throws him away. Akatsuki is shocked and says, what is happening? Haru says, this is the fastest and strongest motorcycle ever made in the world, but there is one small problem with it, no one can ride it unless the motorcycle wants him to ride it. Akatsuki says, tell you what, I don't understand anything, and I won't go near this motorcycle again, because I have enough on my plate. We see the workshop owner looking at him and saying, do you know who made this motorcycle? Our hero says, who made it? The man tells him, the person who made this motorcycle and the only one who can ride it is your father. At that moment, Akatsuki is shocked and says, how do you know my father? He says, dude, he was my friend, my lifelong companion. I'll tell you about him later. The important thing now is, are you going to ride the motorcycle or not? Our hero says, since my father made this motorcycle, I will definitely ride it. I mean the motorcycle, not his father, of course. Our hero actually challenges this strange motorcycle and manages to ride it. He takes it for a quick spin and is flying with joy. Halfway through, he meets the girl Nancy. He teases her, and Nancy gets angry at him and says, this is not the time, because she is gathering the student council, and they are going on a rescue mission now. So Akatsuki said to her, is that right? Then take this jacket and keep it with you. We see Nancy's face flush, but she immediately moves from the spot. When night falls, we see that a gang of criminals has actually attacked a hotel and wants to blow it up and kill the people there to take their money. However, the student council of Babel Academy arrives and manages to deal with them until one of the criminals threatens to kill a small family if they don't leave him alone. At this moment, we see a magnificent intervention from our hero, who helps them deal with the remaining criminals. The day ends like that until we find the girl Nancy has washed our hero's jacket and gone to his house to return it to him. Mio opens the door for her and takes the jacket, noticing that Nancy's face is flushed and she is shy, and it seems she has fallen in love with our hero. Honestly, if that's true, it would be the worst romance scenario I've ever seen. The days pass, and we reach a day where we find our hero and his classmates at the beach. We learn that the families they rescued from the gang during the hotel attack offered them a free trip, and of course, our hero couldn't refuse something like that. Akatsuki is very happy with the sights he is seeing, as our hero is known to have a crude and indecent personality. At this moment, we notice that the girl Nancy's admiration for our hero is increasing, and she is drawn to him more than before. But never mind all this nonsense for now, we will go to the world where Akatsuki was a hero. We find that the Valkyrie Kingdom is holding a very important meeting because a group of knights discovered that the Demon Lord's daughter was not killed with her father. On the contrary, she is still alive and managed to travel to the other world. Everyone is surprised and doesn't know how she was able to do that until they conclude that Akatsuki is the one who kidnapped her and took her to the other world. At that moment, the kingdom's princess, Lesty, is surprised and doesn't know why Akatsuki did that. If no one remembers who Lesty is, she is the person our hero told to contact him if she needed any help in the future. The Prime Minister of the Magic Kingdom is very upset and doesn't believe what happened. He orders a relatively strong person from the kingdom to go to the other world and bring back the Demon Lord's daughter to kill her. At that moment, Lesty is unable to make a decision and doesn't believe the magnitude of the shocks that are happening. The Prime Minister actually brings a person the kingdom is seeing for the first time, but we learn that he is actually very strong, and this person's name is Phil. A knight from the kingdom sees Phil and says to him, "Why are you the one going on this mission? Are you stronger than us?" Phil replies, "Yes, I am actually stronger than you. Would you like to see my power?" The red-haired knight says to him, "Come on, brother, show me your power." And they regret doing that because, literally, without moving from his spot, Phil makes most of the soldiers around him faint from his power. And so, we discovered that he is indeed very strong, not just talk. At that moment, Phil tells them, "I think you know my strength now, so I'm going to leave now to return the Demon Lord's daughter to her natural place." Phil enters the gate that transfers him to the other world. We will leave him and go to our hero, who is standing with his classmates at Babel Academy. We learn that the academy will make them participate in a tournament that is a battle royale, which is simply survival of the fittest. We learn that the students will be divided into teams, and the people who withdraw or faint will be eliminated from the tournament. We also learn that the duration of the tournament will be 48 hours, and the team that remains standing will win the tournament. Akatsuki actually forms his team, which consists of 4 people, Akatsuki, Mio, Izumi, and Domo. At this moment, the student council enters the fighting arena. As soon as our hero sees Hikami, he is very happy and asks him, "Are you going to participate in the competition? I'm excited to fight you." Hikami says to him, "Unfortunately, my friend, I won't be able to participate because I have more important things to do." However, 3 people from the student council will participate, including the girl Nancy. Akatsuki says to him, "No one cares. I want to fight you because there is no one strong in this whole school but you." At that moment, the girl Nancy gets angry and says to him, "Stop being so arrogant and don't get too full of yourself. I'll show you what I'll do to you," and she walks away, leaving him. At this moment, we find that all the students' clothes change to suit the environment where they will play the competition. Honestly, I still don't understand why Mio's clothes look like that. Anyway, not much time passes, and the competition immediately begins. Our hero's team actually enters a fight against the other teams, and without exaggeration, Akatsuki's team manages to defeat about 40 teams in less than an hour, which makes the tournament supervisors and teachers very surprised by the excessive power of our hero's team. Akatsuki's team continues to fight until night falls on them. At that moment, they are resting from the fights they entered, laughing and joking until suddenly, the girl Nancy and her team, which consists of 3 people, Approach them. Nancy looks at Akatsuki and says, "Why are you so relaxed? We are going to defeat you and your team now." Akatsuki says to her, "No, no, I'll do something better with you, which is that I will fight you alone against the three of you. But let's leave this area because it's full of trees and there's no space for fighting." Akatsuki actually leaves his team, takes the girl Nancy and her team, and tells them, "Go all out against me, so that when I defeat you now, my path will be easier to fight your leader, Hikami." The fight actually begins, and as we expected, our hero crushes the girl Nancy's team. After a few blows here and there, a person interrupts their fight, which is Haru. Akatsuki notices that Haru has been spying on them all this time. Akatsuki says to him, "What are you doing here?" Haru says to him, "Nothing, I just came to tell you that this is not the right time to fight, because a strange attack is happening at the academy right now." At that moment, everyone is surprised and asks him who is attacking them. He tells them, "I don't know, I just came to inform you." Suddenly, we find that the area where our hero's team is sitting is being attacked. Akatsuki, without any warning, rushes to the location because he is worried about Mio. It turns out, guys, that Phil is the one attacking them. As soon as Phil sees Mio, he says to her, "I was looking for you, Mio, and I finally found you. I'll take you back to the place you came from." Domo and Izumi try to defend their friend, but they fail to do so. The girl Mio starts running away from Phil. At that moment, Akatsuki arrives at the place where he left his team, and he finds the girls Domo and Izumi lying on the ground, injured. Akatsuki says to them, "What happened?" They inform him that a person came from the world he came from to kidnap Mio. At that moment, the girl Mio is still running away from Phil. On the other side, Akatsuki tells Nancy to take the two girls to the infirmary to be treated there and to warn all the students and keep them away from the battle arena because the competition has gone out of control, and they should not continue it. She refuses at first, but Akatsuki shouts at her and tells her, "This is not the time for nonsense. Listen to what I'm telling you." And he walks away, leaving them to search for Mio. At that moment, Mio is still running away from Phil until suddenly, a person appears whom we did not expect to appear at all, which is Onishuk, the person who bullies the students at the school. Phil says to him, "Get out of my way, because I don't want to fight innocent people." Onishuk says to him, "Forget about that happening." Phil says to him, "Do you like this girl or something, to defend her like this?" Onishuk says to him, "No, I'm doing this to change myself because I used to be a bad person and always bullied the weak, but when I met Akatsuki, my whole life changed, and I decided to change for the better." Phil says to him, "I don't care about any of that talk. I'll just kill you if you stand in my way." Suddenly, Onishuk and Phil enter a fight against each other. Honestly, Onishuk does his best and manages to delay Phil for a period of time, but unfortunately, he is defeated in the end. Phil says to him, "I won't kill you because I don't care about you at all. I'll go continue my mission." And he walks away, leaving him. Onishuk faints, but he wakes up when he finds our hero standing and treating him. At that moment, Onishuk says to him, "What are you doing?" Akatsuki says to him, "As you can see." Onishuk says to him, "This is not the time at all. That person is chasing Mio now and wants to kidnap her. Forget about me now and go after him." Akatsuki says to him, "Okay," and he looks behind him and says, "Come out, Haru. I know you've been hiding all this time." It turns out that Haru was spying on our hero. Akatsuki says to him, "Forget about what you're doing now, and take Onishuk to the infirmary to be treated." Haru says, "Okay," and he actually does so. Akatsuki continues on his way to catch up with Mio before she gets kidnapped. We will leave him now and go to Phil, who has finally reached Mio. As soon as he reaches her, he says to her, "Let me reintroduce myself. I am Phil, and I am a person who wants to be the hero of the other world, but first, you must be executed for all that to happen, because you are a person who causes destruction to the world, since, as we know, you are the Demon Lord's daughter, and you should be dead like your father." At that moment, Mio gets angry and says to him, "Stop saying that." But Phil attacks her and manages to tie her up. He says to her, "Are you crazy, girl? Do you really think you will live a peaceful life with the person who killed your father? You and the entire demon clan should be wiped out." At that moment, the girl Mio starts crying, scared and terrified, but at the last moment, Akatsuki arrives and tells Mio to stop crying because the hero has arrived to save her. We find Akatsuki summoning his special sword and attacking Phil to move him away from Mio. He actually succeeds in doing so and looks at Mio and says, "Is this what you're crying about? Don't worry, I'll kill him for you now." Akatsuki actually enters a fight against Phil, but Phil looks at our hero and says, "Are you an idiot, my friend? I'm a human just like you. Do you really want to kill me for a girl from the demon race? You should cooperate with me to kill her together." At that moment, Akatsuki gets angry and says, "I don't care about the demon and human issues. I do what I want, when I want, and one of the things I love to do and is my favorite is hitting people like you." At that moment, Phil says to him, "It's a shame. You didn't leave me any choice but to kill you." They both enter a very strong fight. Our hero manages to land powerful blows on Phil, but unfortunately, half of these blows do not affect him. Phil immediately decides to play dirty a bit, which is that he grabs the girl Mio and threatens our hero that if he doesn't throw his weapon, he will kill her right now in front of him. Our hero actually listens to him, but Akatsuki asks him an important question: "Why are you doing this?" He says, "To be the sacred hero of the other world, of course, and I will do anything to be that." Akatsuki keeps provoking him to make him angry and attack him. His plan actually succeeds. As soon as Phil attacks him, he is shocked that this was his plan all along. We see our hero raining powerful blows on him until he gives him the final blow that makes him stick to the ground. But at this moment, he finds that the girl Mio has run away from him, so he chases her until he catches up to her. He finds that Mio is standing on a cliff and says to him that she will commit suicide now because she is the cause of all the problems that are happening. Without any warning, she jumps into the water. Before she drowns, she finds Akatsuki jumping after her and saving her. As soon as he takes her out of the water, she says to him, "Why did you save me?" He says to her, "Are you really foolish?" and let him control you with his words. She says to him, "What do you want me to do?" He says to her, "Your father fought me with honor and integrity for the fate of his kingdom, and his only wish before he died was for me to take care of you so that you would preserve everything he did and his achievements would not be forgotten." Mio replies to him and says, "But everywhere I go, innocent people get hurt." He says to her, "No, that's not true at all, and even if that happens, I will protect you and all innocent people, and if I didn't really want to do that, I wouldn't have brought you to this world in the first place. So trust me and know that you are a good person and you don't harm anyone." And he hugs her so she doesn't feel scared. At that moment, the girl Mio keeps crying and says to him, "Okay, I'll stay by your side and help you with what you want." But at this moment, we notice that our hero has started to weaken because Phil wounded him with some powerful blows that caused a type of poison to spread in his body. Our hero wants to rest a bit to continue the fight with him later, but he is shocked when he finds Phil in front of him and says, "What's up, my friend? Are you tired or something? You haven't seen anything yet." At this moment, we see that Nancy and the student council succeeded in keeping all the students away from the battlefield, and they declare a state of emergency in the entire academy. We find the girls Domo and Izumi in the infirmary being treated. But let's stay with Phil, whom we find suddenly transformed into the peak of his power, which is that he has turned into a giant dragon. At that moment, all the students are shocked by the sight they see in front of them. Akatsuki doesn't know what to do because he is very tired and needs to rest a bit before fighting him. The girl Mio bravely tells him, "I will let you rest now to give you some time, and I will make him chase me until you recover." And that's what she does, because, as we also know, Phil's first and last goal is the girl Mio. He leaves everything and chases her until he corners her. At that moment, she is forced to face him head-on. Honestly, Phil is quite strong, and if any of his blows hit the girl Mio, she will undoubtedly die a horrible death. And that's what would have happened right now until suddenly, we see Nancy save her. We find her and the student council arriving at the battlefield. Nancy asks Mio about Akatsuki. She tells her that he is resting a bit because he was wounded with some poison. She tells her, "Okay, we will try to kill this person before he comes." The student council members actually start fighting Phil. After a few blows on both sides, we find the girls Domo and Izumi also arriving at the battlefield. At that moment, they all start helping each other to defeat Phil, and they think they will defeat him easily, but the opposite happens, guys. We find all the students are horribly defeated, and Phil manages to grab the girl Mio and says to her, "Enough playing. Now we will return to the world you came from to be executed there." He actually starts preparing to transfer, but moments before they leave, We see Akatsuki entering with his father's motorcycle in a grand entrance, and he manages to save the girl Mio in the last few seconds. At that moment, Mio keeps crying and says to him, "I was confident that you would save me." Akatsuki takes her and moves her away from the battlefield and says to her, "Stay here. Don't come after me. I'm going to kill him and come back to you." She says to him, "Be careful." He says to her, "Don't worry. I just want to prove to your father that he didn't bet on a weak person who can't protect you. And I'll show you now what will happen to anyone who tries to get close to me." He actually heads to Phil to continue the fight with him, but contrary to expectations, our hero is crushed, defeated, and takes a beating he has never taken in his life. He decides to make a plan so he doesn't get killed. He actually starts implementing it. We find that he finally managed to land a set of blows on Phil until we find Phil saying to him, "Enough, beast. I think we should stop this nonsense we're doing, you and I." We see Phil delivering a very powerful blow that Akatsuki was not prepared for, but our hero, with agility and flexibility, manages to block the blow and says to him, "I think you're the idiot, Phil. I want to let you know that I have fought people much stronger than you in the other world, and you won't be the one at the end of time who succeeds in killing me." The fight becomes very strong, to the point that they destroy the battlefield. After a blow here and a blow there, a kick right and a kick left, Akatsuki manages to deliver the decisive blow to Phil, to the point that he cuts him in half. Yes, guys, Akatsuki succeeded in killing Phil, who was a very difficult opponent and also a strange and crazy character. As soon as our hero finishes the fight, we find the girl Mio running to him and crying. He says to her, "Are you still crying?" She hugs him and says to him, "These are tears of joy." The days pass until we find a group of strangers sitting together, analyzing the fight that happened at Babel Academy between our hero and Phil. We notice that these people are up to no good, and it seems they are planning something for the future that we will find out about later. We will leave them now and go to Akatsuki, who is standing on the academy roof, smelling some fresh air. Suddenly, Haru approaches him. Akatsuki looks at Haru and says to him, "By the way, Haru, why are you always spying on me, and I always find you watching me?" Haru says to him, No, man, none of that is true. It must be a coincidence." Akatsuki says to him, "Stop it. I even noticed that you were helping me on the day Phil attacked the academy discreetly." Haru says, "I took Onishuk to the infirmary as you told me, and I decided to come and help you." Akatsuki says to him, "Still, stop beating around the bush. Why are you watching me?" He says to him, "Man, stop the nonsense you're saying. I'm leaving now because I have several errands." When Haru leaves and walks away from Akatsuki, we notice that he is talking to an unknown person and says to him, "I'm still watching him, boss, just like you told me." Yes, guys, it turns out that, just as our hero suspected, we know that Haru is monitoring our hero's movements and relaying them to an unknown person, whom we don't know, but I feel that this unknown person is Akatsuki's father. Anyway, we will forget about all this now and go to the other world. When they find out that Phil has been killed, they are all shocked, but contrary to that, the girl Lesty is happy that Akatsuki is fine. But the Knight Commander says to her, "This is not the time to be happy, because our kingdom's army is currently being attacked by unknown elements, and they also succeeded in destroying our borders." At that moment, the kingdom declares a state of war. We find the girl Lesty standing looking out the window and remembering our hero's words when he told her, "If you need me at any time, contact me, and I won't be late for you." She decides to contact him through telepathy. At that moment, Akatsuki actually knows that there is danger happening in the other world, so he decides to head there. But before that happens, he takes the girl Mio and takes her home. He also gathers the girls Domo and Izumi to tell them the truth about the girl Mio and that she is originally the Demon Lord's daughter. Domo and Izumi are of course shocked, but they accept the situation because, after all, Mio is their friend. At this moment, we find Akatsuki telling them that he is going to the other world now because he has something he wants to finish there, but he is surprised when he finds the three girls want to go with him. He says to them, "Okay, no problem, but know that the situation will be quite dangerous." They say to him, "No problem, we also want to go with him." He says to them, "Okay, let's start preparing to head to the other world." At this moment, we find the girl Nancy under our hero's house, trying to get to him because she has a message from the academy that she wants to deliver to him. At the same time, she wants to see Akatsuki and check on him, because, as we know, the girl Nancy has feelings for our hero. But we are surprised when we find the boy Haru was standing next to her, watching our hero's house. Before she can ask him and say to him, "What are you doing here?" they both notice that a gate to the other world is opening. Akatsuki rushes out of the house at maximum speed, and Nancy looks at them and says, "What are you doing?" Our hero says to them, "Great, great that you came to bid us farewell before we leave." We see Haru not waiting and grabbing their hands because he wants to go with them. By mistake, the girl Nancy also joins their circle. And so, guys, Akatsuki, Mio, Haru, Nancy, Domo, and Izumi, all 6 of them, enter the other world to begin their adventures there.